Good Sunday morning. Happy Father's Day. Whew. Today is the second day in a row where temps out here in Contra Costa County are cracking over 100 degrees. So I wanted to get out while it was hot, but not at the peak of the day. So it's about 97, 98 right now. Trying to see if I got my old heat training from Phoenix locked in there somewhere deep. Current answer is no. No, I do not. I've lost that itch. But it's good to be outside. It's good to kick around. Been a little MIA since the state meet. You know, just relaxing, trying to take care of business. But want to check in with y'all, say what's up, let you guys know what's happening in my life, things that are coming down the pipe. But I felt like Father's Day would be a good day to vlog. Felt like Father's Day would be a good day to vlog since a lot of my journey through running is attributable directly back to my father. And so here I'll give you guys a little bit of that backstory since some folks have asked sort of what my background to this point is, and then let you guys know what I'm getting into moving forward for the next couple of months. So with that, I guess I got to go back down this hill and see if I still got my hill training legs ready. So we'll get it. All right, so how do we get here? Honestly, my track days go back further than my running days, because yours truly was a fairly husky kid. And so in elementary school, we had a little bit of a team that was training for the Hershey Games, those sort of youth sport situations. And I was a thrower, man. Like, I was out there, I was running like the 1 and the 4 in skateboard shoes, but the softball throw was my event. I was a big dude. So my track days go significantly way back, partially because of my pops. So my dad was a sprinter and a jumper at Mount Eden, which I then went on to run for in high school and am now back in coaching at. So really going full circle. So we get to middle school, I basically hit my growth spurt, don't really start putting on weight, so my sprinter slash running back tendencies start to get a little bit gangly. And by the end of 8th grade, my PE teacher, Mr. Yoon, was like, hey, you're really good at this PE mile thing, you may want to take a shot at cross country. And the internet was around then, so I had started sort of researching things, but looked into it and was like, oh, this could be fun. So my first summer of base training was basically me running in place in my garage because I was too scared to leave my neighborhood in case something went bad while running. So just a lot of fartleks running in place. Not ideal hill training, but it got me to this point, I guess. So relatively early on in high school, it became very apparent I was a much better cross-country runner than a track runner, because I'm just a strength-based guy. I can power my way through most any terrain, but my top end leg speed is just not what it used to be. Not what my, 6th, 7th, 8th grade days were. So cross country, freshman year, had a blast. Didn't end the way I wanted to. And then track, we only had 3 distance runners. So I was the only guy on frosh stop, and I had to do the fun 8, 16, 32 triple basically every meet, as well as high jump, because that's a thing. So that pretty much started 8 years of strong mediocrity in track. By the time I got to college, we were looking at a situation where the team had so much depth that I kept floating through events. So I went from the 8 to the 400 hurdles, then eventually, as my base came back, towards the steeple. Now, mind you, not great at any of these. Steeple, my PR is like 10:29. I'm like a 9:33K guy. So again, renaissance man of mediocrity across the board. The decision to go to Williams for college, heavily influenced by my dad. He never pressured me to run or be an athlete or really do much of anything. I lucked out my parents were very hands-off, allowed me to make my own mistakes and whatnot. But my sophomore year of high school, my dad was diagnosed with ALS. And so a lot of my college decision came down to, one, finances, medical bills are a thing. And two, you know, if things go south, like I want to be able to get back in a reasonable time. So didn't go abroad, wanted to be available. So all in all, Williams was a great experience. The team was great. I mean, obviously I worked there for 3 years after I graduated, so I have much love for the greater E family. But yeah, after graduating and working there, I was doing a lot of hands-on stuff, managing buildings, so a lot of furniture moving, getting yoked, mud run type stuff. I use yoked very loosely, let's be real about this, friend. And then eventually moved to Cleveland, packed on about 25 pounds, got a little depressed, unrelatedly to my body. I just needed to make a change, so insert Phoenix, career change. The first trail race I ever did, which led to joining the Aerovipa group runs. And shortly thereafter, first marathon, first ultra marathon. Becoming friends with Jamil, and I guess the rest is history. So my dad finally passed last October. So this is the first Father's Day where there was no phone call to send. But I wanted to make sure I ran into the Shell Ridge Park today because this was the first place I went for a run after he passed and felt okay, like with my place in life. So yeah, it's a really random open space in Walnut Creek, but it sort of has this indelible mark on my journey now, so. All right, let's keep going. Since wrapping up the state meet, been having some conversations with Roman, who, good my eyes. Having some conversations with Roman, trying to figure out what his next steps are. He's a senior, so just graduated this week. But this is also his first track season. So to run 10.65, even if wind dated, on 2.5 months of training, it's a damn nice feat. So I've been trying to make sure that he's set up for the next phases of his running career while trying to figure out what I'm doing with mine. Last Sunday actually, I went back to Hayward, back to my old home cross country course, and raced a trail 10K, 1,400 feet of climbing, and that first 5 miles did a bomb descent. Took the W, but really was using it to see where my fitness is at, because I've been so inconsistent in my training since trying to come back from the injury before Cool. But everything's good, all systems are go. So time for me to get some things rolling. First off, the upcoming week, coming to Western States, making sure I'm in good enough shape to film and not die through the course of the day. Also partially why this heat training is great in the event that Jamil wants to stick me in the hot parts of the course. But you know, it's time for me to toe the line sometime again soon as well. So what's next on the docket? Well, I'm gonna have a little bit of altitude training up at Hard Rock, assisting Mike as he films aspects of the race and assisting Jamil in any way that he needs as he's running it for the first time in a couple of years. And then dropping back down to the Bay Area because I have 2 50Ks in August. It's official. Heading back to Skyline out in Castro Valley, which was the first ultra I did when I got back last year. And I was not in great shape because I was not training for it at all. Really got signed up for it 4 days ahead of time. So excited to really put together a training block and run that course again. And then 3 weeks after that, the last weekend of August, heading up to the Headlands for the Tamalpa Headlands 50K. So that'll be a little bit different of a beast. A lot more single track, a lot more ocean view. And all told, those 2 races are gonna involve a lot more climbing. So as much as my easy days I can spend on the run flat, stay low skill set, we're gonna have to start going up some hills again, like that. That means I can no longer really be stay low mileage. This averaging 35 a week thing has been fun, but my body's back, so I gotta start cranking it up a bit. Even in college, I topped out base training at like 70 or 75, so I've always been a pretty low mileage person, relatively speaking, but this will be the first time where I'm really trying to go for a race and a result, not just prove to myself that I can do well on a course. So Skyline in Tamalpa, August will be hell month, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm glad to be healthy, I'm glad to be back, I'm glad to be running inspired. I'm ready to do the damn thing. All right, in case this gets too serious, I feel like I have to share an anecdote from the 24 hours in which my father died, which as a setup is a really bad setup for how this is gonna be funny. But when I got the call from my mom, mind you, my parents living in San Antonio, I'm in the Bay Area, so I get the call. I'm on a date at the time, so I have to look this girl dead in her face and be like, listen, let me get you up to speed real quick. I also recognize this is gonna be the most awkward date of your entire life. Let's get it. And she played like a champ, so shout out to her. Hope she's doing well. Clearly, that did not work out for us, but it's a great story. It'll be a phenomenal chapter in my How I Met Your Mother memoir coming 2028. So many mountain outposts to take me down for them. I get hot, hot, hot. Ooh, we like it hot, hot, hot. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Touch over 8 miles, around 70 minutes. So, in this heat, and for not having even consumed an entire bottle, chalking it up to a win. Chalking it up to a win. So now to get some grub in the system. And it's Sunday fun day. What the hell did you expect?